Once upon a time, in a quiet meadow near the forest, lived a small, clever rabbit named Rumi. Rumi was known for his sharp wit and his tiny burrow under the largest oak tree. But his peaceful days were constantly interrupted by a sly fox named Varko, who took great pleasure in chasing Rumi through the fields, taunting him each time he managed to escape. One morning, Rumi decided he'd had enough of Varko's endless games. He wanted peace in his meadow, and he devised a plan to teach the fox a lesson. Rumi knew that Varko loved shiny things. He'd seen the fox stashing everything that glimmered in a hidden spot near the river. Rumi decided to use this knowledge to his advantage. Rumi spent days gathering shiny berries, bits of broken glass, and pieces of silver thread he'd found near a farm. Once he'd gathered enough, he set his plan in motion. He placed a sparkling trail of these items from the meadow right to an old, abandoned hunter's trap he had discovered in the forest. It was a large, rusty cage that had been left behind long ago, with its spring still intact. Rumi carefully placed the shiniest piece of silver right in the center of the cage and nudged the door open. As soon as he was ready, Rumi scurried back to his burrow and waited. Sure enough, Varko was nearby, sniffing the ground and looking for something to entertain him. It wasn't long before he caught the scent of Rumi, mingled with the metallic tang of the trail. Intrigued, he followed the gleaming path through the bushes and into the trees. The fox's eyes lit up with greed at the sight of all the sparkling bits and pieces, his gaze finally landing on the bright silver piece inside the cage. Without a second thought, he padded inside, pawing at the silver thread. But as soon as he did, the door snapped shut behind him. Varko yelped and thrashed, realizing he was trapped. Rumi, watching from a safe distance, couldn't help but chuckle. "You've chased me long enough, Varko," he called out. "Maybe a day in that cage will teach you to leave us meadow folk alone." The fox growled, but there was little he could do. Hours passed, and as dusk fell, the other animals of the meadow gathered to see what had happened to their tormentor. They marveled at Rumi's cleverness, each leaving a small token in front of his burrow as thanks. As the night deepened, Rumi returned to his burrow, a sense of peace finally settling over him.